what can we learn about indigenous aliens by looking at ourselves?
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of interesting because I think if y'all look, I believe there's aliens walking amongst us. Have y'all ever walked past somebody that you just seen the shape of their head and you just seen the way that they talk and you just think to yourself like, what? Nah, they gotta be an alien. You like,
what?
Yeah, you just see someone that's like,
Stupid.
Well, we don't call people stupid, but we do think to.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Cause boy, ain't no way, boy, they human.
You're welcome, you're welcome. Here's another glimpse in the life of Mr. Seldom. On a mission to heaven so he could tell me well done. He got all my secrets, he promised he never tell none. You're welcome, there's no other feeling like it.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Jamal Haki, channel dedicated to helping individuals unlocking the will to conquer imagination. And if you truly believe in yourself, as well as the content being posted here on this channel, then we can indeed help turn the you that's you into something more valuable. Now, if you tuned into the video, then you already know we're going to be doing a reaction video. One of the things I'm going to be doing going forward on the channel is if it's something pertaining to education or edutainment, which is education plus entertainment, we're going to be adding that on the channel as well. And one of the things that we can do in between like more longer videos is to give you some more quick form content, so I'm frequently uploading to stay in touch with you guys. So one of the ways we're going to be able to do that is through reaction videos, through something that's science related, education related, you name it, because those are always pretty fun. And so the first video we're actually going to react to, as you see in the title, are there lost alien civilizations in our past? Now, if you don't believe in aliens, that's one thing that's cool, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of believe in aliens, you feel me? You know,
Stupid.
Call me stupid all you want, but I'm just saying, they gotta be real, you feel me? Perfect. So let's go ahead and jump into this video real quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So ain't no time to waste. We really do not have any time to waste. So oh, video on mute. Alright, without further ado, hey, let's get it.
When we think about alien civilizations,
I want to make sure
tend to
nothing's
look
too loud.
into the vastness of space to faraway planets. But there is another incredibly vast dimension that we might be giving too little thought to. Time. Could it be that over the last hundreds of millions of years, other civilizations existed on Earth?
Oh, snap.
Technological species that rose and died out, and that they or their artifacts are buried beneath our feet. What does science have to say about this, and what are the implications for us?
Okay. This is interesting so far. Because I don't know about y'all, but y'all gotta think sometimes like, wait, how did we come into math? How was these pyramids actually made? The tools that they had back then were not the tools that we use in today's age, and even then it's still hard to make certain objects very smooth and texturally, and the symmetry and all that stuff, you feel me?
Life on Earth has existed for 4 billion years, mostly as single-celled organisms, until some 540 million years ago, the Cambrian explosion heralded the age of animals. A huge time window for our indigenous aliens. Where would we look for them, and what could we hope to find?
Man, I don't
we
know.
have only one civilization to look at: ourselves.
Okay.
Anatomically modern humans emerged around 300,000 years ago and probably lived in small groups of hunter-gatherers, slowly spreading around the world.
Okay.
Progress was slow and our lifestyle didn't change much, although there may have been local bursts of complexity. Until about 10,000 years ago, when the agricultural revolution changed our lifestyle forever.
Okay. Alright, so all of this is very interesting and making sense. The only thing that hasn't been included in here was, how people procreated. And, we just gonna say relatives was definitely doing it with other relatives, at the time. Everyone was pretty much fairly related. That's just how it happened back then, you know?
I beg your pardon?
Enabling massive population growth and technological progress. Rather than just animals with culture and tools that would have been invisible from space, we changed the face of the planet, cleared forests and constructed cities and temples for our gods at breathtaking speeds and scales.
Breathtaking
Until
speeds.
About 300 years ago, we became an industrial species, and yet again our numbers grew exponentially, as did our impact on the planet.
So that's crazy to think that civilization has been a certain way for, let's just say, thousands of years, right? Thousands of years. But for some reason, there was this huge exponential jump within the past 300 to 400 years. So what does that necessarily say about the next jump that will happen in terms of civilization, right? We see shows like the Jetsons and other things, and even movies like The Matrix and The Fifth Element, where there's flying cars, you name it. Some type of futuristic sci-fi dystopian realm where we see these things and it's like, whoa, is that going to happen within the next coming years? I'm here to tell you that yes, it has no choice. Flying cars is a thing in the future, right? If we can do flying planes, like something flying in the air, cars will be the next thing that they'll be working on, of course. Just my thought.
Let's say that our 300,000-year-long history has 3 phases. We were hunter-gatherers for 97%, farmers for 2.9%, and industrialists for 0%.
Yo, that's wild. Hold on one second. Wait, hold on. Hunter-gatherers for 97%, farmers for 2.9%, but then the last 0.1% were industrial. That's crazy. So we're just in the beginning stages of where we're at currently.
0.1% of our history. And yet, we are super new on Earth. On geological timescales, even the sturdiest things lose their durability. The oldest large-scale surface is the Negev Desert, a meager 1.8 million years old. Everything on it has been crushed to dust or turned over, and it's either ice or ocean.
Wow.
The Anthropocene will be a layer only a few centimeters thick in a few million years.
Oh my
If there were
goodness.
aliens before us and they too went through these 3 phases, what would remain of them? What can we learn about indigenous aliens by looking at ourselves?
I ain't gonna lie.
Aliens.
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of interesting because I think if y'all look, I believe there's aliens walking amongst us. Have y'all ever walked past somebody that you just seen the shape of their head and you just seen the way that they talk and you just think to yourself like, what? Nah, they gotta be an alien. You like,
What?
yeah, you just see someone that's like,
Stupid.
Well, we don't call people stupid, but we do think to,
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
cause boy, ain't no way, boy, they human.
We
I'm
actually know
telling
that in the last
y'all.
few million years there were hunter-gatherer aliens. Our ancestors like Homo erectus and cousins like the Neanderthals or Denisovans and probably many more that
Hold on, Homo erectus? Homo erectus?
You gonna make me act up.
What?
we haven't found yet or are lost to time forever. They left fragments of their bodies, of weapons and tools, and even art. Considering how long they existed and how little remains of them, although they lived not that far from our present, it's easy to think there have been others.
Okay.
Intelligent animals like us that could talk and use tools and fire, that had culture and art.
Interesting.
For the last 2 million years,
Dogs with
most
culture.
hominins lived as hunter-gatherers. So if these aliens never moved up higher on the tech tree, hundreds of different species and cultures could have existed without leaving any traces. Their artifacts lost to biological and then geological processes.
Wow.
Worst, they would leave absolutely nothing to be found after thousands of years.
So not only they themselves kind of withered away, like decomposed into the ground and everything, but any and everything that they use. Again, this is all speculative. This is all theory, but this is still interesting because it's a way for us to kind of make sense of, well, what was happening in between time when humans came into the picture versus like these billions of years, right, where humans were not living, not existing on Earth according to science, but Earth did exist. What was happening then? Who was occupying this space, like in terms of a living species outside of like some type of animal? Was it alien? We know it wasn't human, so we're just trying to figure out what was it then.
But what about fossils? We talked about how unlikely the process of fossilization is in more detail in our dinosaur video. But in a nutshell, per 100,000 years of Earth's history, we only get a handful of good fossils. So we might easily just miss fossils of such people, but even
Oh
if
my
we had any,
goodness.
we wouldn't necessarily be able to identify them as hunter-gatherers.
Wow.
Perfect.
Agricultural and empire aliens.
That's interesting. So I never personally thought about that myself.
Nope.
Even if we were to find said bones, it'd be very difficult for us to be able to identify those bones as connected to an alien species. All right, so let's continue.
Looking at humans again, agricultural societies left much more to be dug up and found because they used more sophisticated tools made from sturdier materials and had to feed millions, leaving many more artifacts.
Okay.
Farming allowed them
Which
to
makes sense.
specialize and develop tech from writing to navigation, architecture, and government.
Okay.
Over thousands of years, city-states became kingdoms and empires, some existing for millennia before they fell. Many of the buildings or monuments they constructed are still around, and traces of them will exist for a few thousand more years.
Yes,
Some only as outlines in the ground, but still recognizable to future archaeologists.
That's amazing.
The
That's
pyramids
amazing.
are piles of limestone so massive that they will probably be around for hundreds of thousands of years. And because of the
Wow.
greater numbers of humans that lived during our farm and empire period, we can expect way more fossils and artifacts to be detectable, maybe for a few million years before they vanish.
Wow.
So we can say with confidence that no such indigenous alien civilization existed in the last few billion years, because otherwise we would have found something that they
Interesting. I like that. So again, more context is being made here, because we are able to deduce based off findings that we already have found how long ago a particular species or maybe a particular tool was around by connecting it to something based off it like history, you know what I mean? So simply the theory is by us not finding it, it means that how shall I say this? It's something that has existed before or may have existed before. It's just that it existed so long ago that it had already just broken down or withered away or gone.
left. This still leaves a window of hundreds of millions of years, back to the emergence of complex life where we wouldn't be able to tell. If there were alien pre-industrial societies and empires on the level of the ancient Romans or Chinese, they would have likely disappeared without a trace. Their tools, even advanced metals, would have rotted away. If they dug up canals, cleared forests, and built cities, their traces would be very hard to distinguish from nature. Maybe there was once an empire of cephalopods occupying impressive cities in swamps and lakes made from wood and stone. Their engineers flooding land to build wet cities, their poets reciting poems in a language of colors.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Maybe their society was too stable or not inventive
Oh
enough,
my
or they never got a
goodness.
chance. A single event like an asteroid, an
Oh
evolutionary ice age,
my-
could just have deleted their civilization, ground up their temples as their soft bodies
A
rotted
single
away.
asteroid, huh?
Sadly, we don't have the tiniest amount of evidence for any such civilization. After a few million years at best,
Okay.
their achievements would have dissolved into nothing. Industrial indigenous aliens.
Man, that's crazy. Like, imagine if we did have like some information on any of what's being talked about right now. Maybe someone does. You know, there's Area 51 for a reason, right? You know what I mean? There's Area 51 for a reason, right? So to some degree, it's not too far-fetched.
What do you mean by that?
What about industrial civilizations like humanity today? Imagine humans died out suddenly through a pandemic or cosmic rays or something like that.
Okay.
What would remain? Our impact on the planet is orders of magnitude greater than that of our ancestors.
Okay.
The fossil record will show a great extinction of wildlife and an explosion of fossils from human-associated animals like rats, cows, pigs, and chickens. Like the structures of our ancestors, skyscrapers and streets and hard drives will basically crumble into nothingness in a few millennia. But because there were so many humans everywhere, for a few million years after our sudden end, there would be clear hints of our existence.
Yeah,
The
that's
byproducts
true.
of our industrial lifestyle might actually give us away for some hundreds of millions of years. We use massive amounts of artificial fertilizer, which redirects Earth's flow of nitrogen that is being deposited in the soil. Mining metals and rare earth elements leaves long-term scars and depletes natural resources.
Okay.
We saturate our oceans with plastics that find their way to the ocean floor and may persist for hundreds of millions of years.
Wow.
There are radioactive elements and their decay, unnatural accumulations of elements that don't exist outside labs or weapons. And of course, in our short industrial history, we have changed the proportion of CO2 in the air by burning massive amounts of fossil fuels.
Damn,
increasing
yeah,
the
that's
acidity of
true.
The oceans, and so on. We may already have left a mark in the geological record.
Good or bad?
So far, we have found no traces of an industrial alien civilization. No
So
layers
far.
of weird chemicals or displaced elements. No radioactive layer to indicate that once great nations waged nuclear war. We do see mass extinctions and massive shifts in the fossil records, but no evidence that they did not occur naturally. And ironically, we've hit upon an interesting problem here. If industrial societies stress the ecosystem enough to cause their own extinction, they won't be around that long.
Okay, if industrial societies... Hold on, let's rewind that back. I want to make sure I understand it.
Cause their own extinction, they won't be around that long.
Okay.
But if they become sustainable, their imprint on the geological record may be tiny. If past industrial civilizations were sustainable before they died out, we may have little to no chance of ever knowing about them.
Wait, hold on one second. So sustainable is good. We want to strive for sustainable, but by being sustainable, we prevent ourselves from leaving an imprint on Earth because we wouldn't even be able to be found. Versus being unsustainable or non-sustainable, and there'll be a lot left behind, which was exemplified in what was just shown. Plastic bags, the decaying of things, excess amount of CO2 based off of just carbon in the air, pollution, you name it. So we got all these things happening, which is not good, not sustainable, but at least we will be found. That's interesting, okay.
In any case, over hundreds of millions of years, these signatures may become very subtle and get overlooked or interpreted as natural. Even if an industrialized alien society existed 200 million years ago and lasted for 100,000 years, 300 times longer than industrial humanity, it still might be easy to miss it in the geological record. In any case, all of this is speculation. In the end, we shouldn't use our imagination to trick ourselves into thinking we know anything about our blind spots. Just assuming a thing happened because we don't have evidence against it is a trap we should avoid. So for now, if we look at the vastness of time, it seems as devoid of aliens as the vastness of space. maybe we are alone in this universe and always were.
It's a big
we'll
maybe
find
though.
Traces of others eventually, we don't know. But there is one important takeaway. The continuation of our civilization is not guaranteed. And if we're not careful, we may disappear forever.
That's
Let's hope
true.
that in a few million years, there isn't another civilization studying our layer in the fossil record.
Wow. Oh! Okay, so we are back. And that was an interesting video. I like that. So we already been recording for around 20-ish minutes, give or take, by the time you are watching this. So we're gonna go ahead and just get ready to end the video. So if you have something like everything that you see, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, hit the bell to be notified. Until then, I look forward to talking to you guys on the next video. If there's anything else that you would like me to react to, something that's along the lines of something science, education, something that we can break down but still have fun, leave that in the comment section, man. It's your boy Jamal Haki, channel dedicated to helping individuals unlock the will to conquer imagination, right? And we just gonna leave it off on that. Until then, I look forward to talking to you guys on the next video. So without further ado, it's your boy Jamal Haki. Peace out.
It's the act of God. I used to act the fool, but now I act in movies. Actually, I'm just making moves. We still making music. Tell you about my past to secure my future. I'm all in my bag. Flow like a computer. That's a humble brag.